Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive head-to-head showdown between two absolute heavyweights in the Callaway game improvement lineup. We're going to look really closely at these two giants, which actually come from the exact same family tree, just 2 years apart, to figure out which one is the true perfect fit for your weekend game. Because look, this isn't just about reading off whatever the ads say. It's about matching the right engineering to your specific, unique swing. Picture this. In one corner, you've got the 2020 Mavrik. Featuring its AI flash face cup and that low center of gravity tungsten, it basically owned the game improvement rack for 3 solid years. And honestly, it is still a massive favorite for mid to high handicappers. And in the other corner, battling its own predecessor, is the direct 2022 replacement, the Rogue ST Max. It's got a very similar mission on paper, but it brings a huge, undeniable technological leap to the table.
So here's the million-dollar question, or rather the few $100 question, because right now, one of these iron sets is sitting hundreds of dollars cheaper on the secondary market. We really need to cut through all the marketing hype today to find out, is that newer, shiny technology actually worth the premium price tag? Or is the older model basically the ultimate value hack that's going to solve your on-course struggles just as well?
Here is our fight card for today's explainer. 1. The Iron Showdown setup. 2. Power and forgiveness. 3. Accuracy and feel. 4. The price factor. And finally, 5. The verdict. We're breaking down everything objectively, so let's get right into it.
Round 1. The Iron Showdown setup. Outwardly, these clubs are targeting the exact same golfer, but under the hood, it is a wildly different story. 260%. Yeah, you heard that right. That is the big, glaring difference right out of the gate. Callaway literally packed 260% more tungsten into the Rogue ST Max. To give you the real-world scale of that, the Mavrik holds about 17 grams of tungsten. The Rogue ST Max, up to 62 grams. That is a massive injection of weight, specifically designed to keep the club head rock solid and stop it from twisting when you inevitably don't hit it perfectly dead center.
Moving right along into round 2, power and forgiveness. Because hitting the ball far is fun, absolutely, but hitting it consistently is what's actually going to lower your scores. Let's look at the actual face tech. It's super fascinating. The Rogue ST is rocking this new 450 steel AI face cup that is literally thinner in the exact hotspots where 15 to 25 handicappers usually miss. The Mavrik, meanwhile, sticks with its tried and true flash face cup. Now, here's the secret. If you are flushing it dead center every time, these two clubs are basically tied for distance. But that massive chunk of extra tungsten in the Rogue ST, it acts like a safety net. It keeps your ball speeds way higher on those annoying toe and low face miss hits. Seriously, if you ever test these side by side, look at your 5 and 6 irons. That's exactly where the Rogue ST pulls ahead in keeping the ball moving fast. So where does the Rogue ST really flex its muscles? Unbelievable forgiveness. Both of these clubs are fantastic at fighting that dreaded weekend slice. They've both got big offset, low CG, and nice wide soles. But on miss hits, the Mavrik definitely twists a bit more and loses more distance off the toe. The Rogue ST, thanks to that huge stability footprint we talked about, just stays straighter and launches higher. If you hit it fat and take a massive chunk out of the earth, that wider Rogue ST sole just glides better through the turf. If you catch it thin, the higher placement of the urethane microsphere steps in to save your speed. Bottom line, for an 18-plus handicap or newer golfer, the Rogue ST is noticeably, tangibly easier to hit.
All right, let's shift gears for round 3. 3. Accuracy and feel. Let's talk about what happens when you actually make impact and try to hit a green.
Look, raw distance isn't everything, especially when you've got a short iron or a wedge in your hands. Now, the Rogue ST is going to launch higher with a touch less spin, which is absolutely fantastic if you struggle to get the ball up in the air. But mid-handicappers actually report something really interesting. They tend to see tighter short iron dispersion and a much more controlled penetrating ball flight with the older Mavrik, simply because it offers a hair more spin to hold the green. But hold on, before we crown a winner, we have to talk about a huge, easily missed buying trap: shafts and lofts. The Mavrik stock shaft is the True Temper XP95, while the Rogue ST Max uses the True Temper Elevate MPH95. Guys, these have totally different launch profiles that might change your ball flight more than the actual club head does. And on top of that, both of these iron sets feature an incredibly strong 27.5 degree 7 iron. I mean, that is literally a 5-iron loft from a decade ago. Seriously, because of those jacked up lofts, you have to be careful. Listen to this warning.
If you don't adjust your wedge setup to account for these strong irons, you will absolutely face a giant, totally unplayable 30 to 40 yard gap right smack in your 115 to 125 yard scoring zone. If you buy either of these sets, proper gapping is not optional, it's a must. Okay, what about feel? Well, Callaway actually listened to the complaints about the older model here. The Mavrik is pretty notoriously described as firm, a little clicky, and kind of hollow feeling when you don't hit it pure. Callaway completely fixed that clicky feedback by taking those urethane microspheres and extending them all the way up to the 6th groove in the Rogue ST. It gives the newer model a significantly softer, much more muted sound. So Rogue ST confidently takes the point for feel. Section 4, the price factor. Just when the Rogue ST looks like a runaway train with its tech and feel, the money talk completely flips the script. Looking at the golf landscape as of 2026, used Mavrik sets are absolutely everywhere. You can find them constantly on eBay, Callaway Pre-Owned, Second Swing, you name it. And this massive availability introduces an incredibly compelling value proposition for budget-conscious golfers who still want premium game improvement tech in their bag. Let's talk real numbers. The Rogue ST Max, if you find it as new old stock, is still sitting around $800 to $900, and an excellent used set will run you about $550 to $700. But the Mavrik? You can easily snag an excellent used set for $400 to $550. That means you are keeping anywhere from $200 to $400 right in your pocket just by going with the Mavriks. Which brings us to kind of the golden rule of this explainer. For a 10 to 16 mid-handicapper on a budget, the Mavrik is just an insane value. Think about it. It's essentially giving you roughly 90% of the performance of the newer Rogue ST, but you're only paying about 60% of the price. So let's step into round 5, the final verdict. Let's figure out exactly which club actually belongs in your bag, because there's rarely one perfect magic wand for every single golfer. Who should absolutely pull the trigger on the Rogue ST Max? Well, if you're a beginner, a 20-plus handicap, you fight a nasty slice, or your main miss is off the toe or hitting it thin, this is your club, hands down. If you have a slower swing speed, or you just want Callaway's absolute most forgiving iron under $1,000 to get that ball up in the air with zero effort, the Rogue ST Max is your clear, undeniable winner. On the flip side, who's the Mavrik for? Go get the Mavrik if you're a 10 to 18 handicap, buying used, and you just want the absolute best bang for your buck in 2026. If you want that game improvement distance, but you still prefer a little tighter control in your short irons, this is it. Plus, taking that $200 to $300 you just saved and spending it on a proper fitting or a handful of lessons, that's going to improve your game way more than a slightly newer club face ever could. Looking at our final scorecard, the Rogue ST Max takes distance with a slight edge on mishits. It shows clear dominance in forgiveness, and it definitely wins out on feel and sound. The Mavrik squeaks by with a narrow win for accuracy and control, and absolutely runs away with the value category. So overall, yes, the Rogue ST Max takes the crown as the objectively better, more forgiving tool for the average golfer looking for max help. But hey, don't count the Mavrik out. It firmly stands its ground as the smart money champion. It proves that you really don't always need the absolute latest tech to go low on the weekends. If your budget is tight and your ball striking is relatively okay, the Mavrik is just a brilliant investment. So here's what I want to leave you with. Based on your handicap, your absolute most frustrating miss, and your budget, which of these iron sets actually belongs in your bag? Are you team max forgiveness, or are you team smart money? Take a hard look at what your game really needs and choose wisely. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning out there.